and well done for completing all your 4 tasks up until the last task of our first segment of discovering yourself and your journey. This was a very important phase that we had to go through to prepare the soil for you to be able to grow what you want to grow by the time you get to the end of the year. So just an overview of what you were able to discover and what you were able to work through your dedication in these tasks that you have covered before. You've managed to set your intention, which means from today onwards up until the 31st of December 2025, you have a specific day in your days that you'll be working on your career and personal development diligently and consistently. Good time management, tick. Number 2, you've been able to visualize your goal. You have the specifics down to the T. You know the visuals, where you will be, how it will look like. Your desires are in the most vivid possible scenario that it can be at this point. Number 3, you have managed to get rid of your limiting beliefs. You've gotten rid of the negative thoughts that come into your mind every time you try to pursue your goals. Well done on that. You've not just done that, you have substituted that with an empowering belief that is going to pull you through. So every time your limiting belief is going to pop up, and best belief it's going to pop up because it is a habit that you've developed for a couple of years. You have now a way to counter that and to move past it seamlessly. Number 4, you've managed to get rid of the rules that you've been living by that have not been serving you right. You are positive minded and you've managed to get rid of. So other rules are because of your past trauma, your past experiences, or the way that you actually grew up, and those are very difficult to point out. If you've diligently done this and committed fully and acted boldly, you were clear of these rules and your life is now a bit flexible than before. You do not demand from yourself, but you give yourself grace. Which brings us to our last task that we're going to complete today. And our theme is going to be, I substitute over-optimism and excessive pessimism with true and competence. It's good and understandable to be very positive about this, to be very optimistic about life and what you're pursuing and your goals. But the downside is, with over-optimism comes unrealisticness and unattainable results. So we're going to work on that by putting in some facts. We're also going to work on excessive pessimism. Maybe you've tried to work on something, or you've tried to pursue your career in certain specific ways, but then it just didn't work. So you're like, you know what, I've tried this, but it is not working. Excessive pessimism. We're going to get rid of that today. So I'm going to give you a couple of tasks, but before that, don't forget to pat yourself in the back. And as soon as you finish today's tasks, please do something for yourself. I know we're going through a fasting finance. It doesn't have to be monetary. Keep your fasting financially. This is not an excuse. So be sure to reward yourself with something that you love, either maybe reading a book or a stroll, something that is good that makes you feel rewarded for these tasks that you've completed, because you've come a long way and 10 days is a long way. Okay, so the tasks for today that you're going to complete is, I'm going to give you one task that will help you be able to avoid over-optimism and excessive pessimism, and also not just avoid it, but substitute it with true ability and competence, which is the key words here. So number 1, we're going to balance your expectations with the facts. Your ambition are going to be put against the facts that you have upon your goals in your career as well as in your personal development. So today I want you to think about the potential problems that might happen. That is the realistic life of life. You're going to focus on your preparation and your actions. But most importantly, you have to make sure you write down your goal. Against that, write down a list of the reality situations that might happen or that have happened. Prospective hindsight. You've tried to do this before. Some things came into play, demotivated you, or put you a couple of steps back. You're going to take that, put it now against your goal, And in the process or in the future, you're going to look or find ways to action these goals, either by changing your goal in a certain way to make it real, or by adjusting a couple of factors, or finding counters or specific counters that are going to work on these problems that come. So put prospective hindsight into play in this task. After you've done, your journal prompt will be, what does progress in my career realistically look like over the next 100 days? This is where you're going to put in the facts, the factors, your time, your resources. Is it support? Is it the time that you have? Is it your personality traits that you're still working on that might come into play and hinder this? If so, maybe it might be good to start working on those, or maybe simultaneously while you're pursuing on your goals as you work on that trait that you want to change. Your daily affirmation for today will be, I trust my journey. Progress takes time, effort, and patience, and each step forward is intentionally thought about. Have a good day, and I can't wait for you guys to reflect on this and hear all about the progress that you were able to do throughout these 10 days, because it has been an amazing journey, you opening up and you sharing, motivating each other, and growing as a collective and moving as a group. Well done. And I hope I see you again next time in the next video, in our next segment. And some of you are going to start courses, so I'm really excited about that. Have a good day.